Okay. Everything looks good. Mic works. Screen's muted. Alright. Hi. Man. I've had a crazy 2 days. So, my heat ended up going out. And it got really cold around here for those 2 days. And it just happened to warm up when I got my heat fixed, so go figure. But yeah, it got super cold. So I swapped to this, like, I've got this really thick house coat, pretty warm, just so I could keep working. Or, you know, I didn't have to, I was basically like stuck under the covers if I wanted to stay warm. I got no firewood, so it's kind of a mistake. I should have some emergency firewood just in case. Let me fix this real quick. It might sound bad. All right. Yeah, well, I was using that coat. Okay, so I started having these horrific allergic reactions. Like, my eyes were just non-stop itching, like really bad. My chest started itching, my throat. It got terrible, and I had no idea what was going on. And you can probably guess what it is now, but I don't know. I went for a day, I took a bunch of allergy medication, and I tried to get over it. And then the next day, I think it's when I finally noticed that it was that fucking coat or that house coat that I was wearing. I don't know, because maybe the way it's fluffy or the fact that I don't know. It was tearing me up. And it was so bad, like, my eyes are still like puffy and sore. I finally got over it. I think the best thing to do is just take a shower and sit under the faucet for 10 minutes and let water run it all off. But yeah, that's why I didn't stream for a little while there. I was still working on this. But anyway, all that aside, I got the heater working again, so I can actually like do this without freezing my ass off. And I've been running an air purifier like non-stop. I'm gonna throw that coat away. I guess I'll get something else. But yeah, this is what I worked on. You can see the screen. Yep. All right. So we colored this guy. I got pretty close to what it was before. I wasn't able to match it perfectly, but it's decent. So while I was coloring them, I got through like most of the stripes before I remembered that this guy falls into the background, and because the background color, I don't do this for many of them, but for this guy, because he's so large, it makes sense that his feet are pushed back into the background and might be a different color. So when he falls out of the screen, I had to make it to where he actually like shifts into that color back there. So yeah, I made it through a lot of it before I realized that and had to start, I don't know, a couple frames over again, but you'll see he like transitions that darker color as he falls away. I was also wondering, before I had the rear legs and the front legs separated, so as you can see, the rear legs can be behind the player and the front legs can be in front of the player. What I decided to do is I didn't want to cut them again, so it's fine because it animates all the way up till it stands up like this, and then the only way you'll notice this is if you just happen to be standing at his feet or his tail. For this frame, it'll like shift to be behind the player, so not a big deal, but it will look a little off because I've mixed them all together. So basically, I mean, because at this point he's gonna fall into the background, so he's gotta go back there. It's gonna happen. There's no way to get around that. So yeah, when it goes to this frame, it'll push everything to the background, and then he falls back. So that's basically what that looks like. I pulled this part out and then I drew a skeleton underneath it. So that's what the skeleton looks like. This guy on top, skeleton. I also disconnected the skull from the body so we can remove the skull as well. But I'm thinking this will just happen in 4 stages. It'll be stage 1. Stage 2 we're probably going to draw right now. Stage 3 will be this, and stage 4 will be this, where the skull is missing. And we'll put the skull in the house at this point. And I was thinking about like what I'm going to do for scavengers and stuff. I've actually got a bunch of scavengers that I'm going to be drawing later. Just, they were going to be background elements, but all I had to do is put a bunch of my vulture type creatures around the skeleton, because I actually looked on National Geographic to find what happens to an elephant corpse when it dies. It's actually pretty interesting. I recorded a time lapse of it. I could show it, and I think I will. If you don't like to see, if you don't want to see an elephant picked apart, like, then you might not want to watch the next bit of the stream, because I'm going to show what this looks like. Because I just thought it was really interesting. It's not that violent. I mean, yeah, okay, there's a little bit of blood and stuff, or like a little bit of guts, but it's not too bad. Let's see, how do I do this? I gotta swap over to this scene. Yeah, I recorded the time-lapse part just for reference for later, because it's a pretty good example of what this looks like. So, yeah, there's the elephant. It's actually whole now. It's kind of interesting. What happens is the hyenas get in there first. The vultures, they come, they find it, and they'll attract the hyenas because the vultures can't actually get anything besides like the eyeball, and maybe they'll pick at the butt. But they can't actually break the skin. Like an elephant's skin is so thick, so they try and lure in hyenas to the kill. And the hyenas, of course, they've got really good smell for decaying stuff, so they'll find it quick on their own too. But the hyenas are the ones with the jaw strength to actually get into the elephant and basically just rip into its stomach and start going for the guts. And from there, yeah, once it's open, it becomes a free-for-all. Once the hyena's had its fill, the birds get into it. Sometimes you'll get some other big predators coming along. And it'd be kind of hard to see through most of it, but through the night they're like picking it down basically from top to bottom, taking the easiest stuff first, and as the hungrier things come along later, they'll eat the less the harder to get stuff, like the feet and the stuff with less stuff on it. But look at this, they really pick it down, and this is taking place over like 5 days. It's amazing. Like 5 days, the animals and the wildlife pick it down to just bones. I wouldn't have never guessed it would happen that fast, but I guess it makes sense. Yeah, they carry a leg off there. So that's kind of like how the skeletons never remains whole like we've drawn. But I don't really care about that. I'm not gonna pay attention to that. Usually all the bones get scattered around because, you know, the predators are pulling them off and dragging them. If they can take anything and keep it, they'll run off with it. But there it is, picked down, and now just the insects and the flora are what finishes it off. So that's what it looks like when an elephant decays or gets taken down by scavengers. Happens really fast, so it kind of makes sense in game that over the course of a couple screens running back and forth, you'll just see it. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I was thinking like, you kill it, it'll be in the background. If you, I don't know, maybe I don't like the idea of making in-game time pass, but I might have to do that. Otherwise, you'll just leave the screen, come back on, and it'll get lower It'll be picked down some, leave the screen, come back. It'll be nothing but bones. Leave the screen, come back, and the skull's gone. I think that's too fast. I need to do something where it's got some sort of time-based thing. So I could do that. But it gets kind of complicated when you do that too. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to consider that. I'm going to do it in game because I don't want it to be too crazy. Like, it needs to be simple. But the way I have it, it shouldn't be that hard. Once it's down to this part, it'll just stay like that forever. I'm not sure how I'm gonna like save where it fell. I could save the X and Y coordinate, but that's making more global variables that have to be actually saved with the game. Otherwise, when you load the game again, it won't remember where those were. So I could make sure it dies in a certain place, so that just kind of cheats it to where I put the corpse in this one spot and I know it's going to be there. Or we could also do like, you kill it, once you leave the screen and you come back and it's like rotten, it just moved to a point. Which is a little more cheap, but the easiest way to do it. So it's not exactly where you killed it. You could have killed it where it was like half off the screen or something. And it just kind of teleported over to the middle of the room. Or it's facing a different direction. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'll probably just play around with it when I get it in game and see what I'm willing to do with that kind of thing. Okay, so as far as the like in-between state, and this is going to be a little nasty. Yeah, I'm still like, the allergies aren't completely gone. Man, going from, I had 0 allergies probably until I was like 24 or 25. So I didn't develop allergies until about there. And then from there, it's just felt like it's gotten worse and worse every single year I've gotten older. My dust allergies are so bad. If I dusted my house, I'd have to wear a full face mask and respirator. Look ridiculous. Because my body cannot handle dust at all. Dust and pollen just tear me up now. It's crazy how that like developed. I wonder, like, can it get any worse than this? It probably can. I shouldn't jinx it. Okay. The idea here is I've got to show like a state where it's been kind of, I want one more to where it's in between. Like jumping from this one to that one is a little too extreme. I want one in between state that you find it in. So it'll look kind of gnarly, but I really need to tear its stomach open and have all of its guts hanging out. Because I think that's the best way. I can also have see, the funny thing is, that is what they'd get to first. They basically tear it apart from the inside out. I don't know how they got the skin off and everything. And the vultures are doing that. And usually the vultures are just covering it. I could also just have the guts out and cover the damn thing in vultures to where you can't really see it. It just, I mean, that's what it looks like in real life, is the vultures are all over the thing. So when you walk by, you'll just see a ton of these scavenger animals around it. But what's cool about that, if I make, my vultures are supposed to just have like a sitting animation where they're just sitting in the background, you know? But if I make them have like a really quick flying animation as well, I can just have them all sitting all around it, and as the player runs by and gets close, they fly off and reveal the body. I don't think that would be too hard. I mean, adding extra drawing again. But I've already, I mean, if I just like, I can use some really easy flying animation that doesn't have to be too crazy. Something real simple. I'll probably just find a picture of a vulture taking off and rotoscope it, because that would be the absolute easiest way to do it. But I guess I still gotta like do something with this. Let's just cut some of it out then, I guess. I mean, it doesn't have to look super perfect. I might be able to just do this in a really easy way. So I do want like most of the stomach ripped open. So I'm just making some like really simple jagged edges and stuff. And I'll probably go in here and just clean it up with a pin, because there's no way I can draw a perfectly straight line with this lasso tool. It's pretty good. Okay, and if you know, throw some highlights and stuff. I need to do, there's got to be a back there to like, you're not seeing all the way through it, but you can see the ribs. I can also move bits around the eyes. Let's just do like, we'll do it like this. I think this will be the simplest way to do it. Is we take certain parts away, revealing the underneath, and then I'll just clean it. That sounds like, yeah, definitely the best way to do it. I mean, as far as easy, right? I don't want it to be, I've been working on this for too long already, you know. But that's because I haven't been, too long as in I haven't put a lot of time in day by day. I get sore too quick, or I get cold based off the last couple days. I'm gonna do a little bit of this just to show these bones. A little more. I want to show some spine, so I still haven't quite got there yet. There we go. Something like that. I definitely don't want to do anything around the arm, because then I'd have to draw that arm. Oh, of course these little gill things would get picked away, wouldn't they? They're easy for birds to get into. I'm gonna have to do something with that, make it look nicer. Alright, so how do I do this? I think I just fill in this part. With gray. I did that, but this needs to go behind the skeleton. There we go. So now I can fill that part in with like red. Honestly, it doesn't have to be that complicated. We'll get to it. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to copy this, put that here, put this here, get rid of that. So I got all my own stuff. And really, yeah, it's just like editing some of this, so. Adding some viscera. I think that'll be fine. That plus like having scavengers all over it is good enough for a transition. It's showing that it's being eaten. I was thinking of doing something with the lizard men, but I might say that the lizardmen don't get to this corpse in time or something. Because I can't think of what I would add to show them being there. I could add like some skinning knives and I don't know. I guess we'll just have to leave it up to assumption that they would have carved off some pieces as well before it got too rowdy. Okay, let's just do some highlighting. Oh, but before that, I do need to clean this up. That looks really bad. Yeah, look at like, without aiming aliasing, that's what it looks like. Very jagged compared to a soft outline. What's going on? I'm on the wrong one. So I'm just going to smooth this outline. In fact, actually, I'm going to go back. I think if I blur that, it'll work better. I'll just do the part that isn't that. Let's see, if I try and blur this, how will that work? Yeah, that was too much. That looked okay. At least it's not as stiff. I can do that too quickly. Blur these edges of the marquee. I wonder if there's a function that blurs a marquee. I don't know. I've not seen that. That looks decent. Okay. And it can be a little extra black because the rotting really just makes the whole corpse look really dark. Actually, very natural. And actually, what I've noticed, the way that it rots, it actually turns the whole area around it. I've seen that before. I've seen dead dogs out in the wild. The whole area around where their body is gets turned black as well. I went through too much here. Do a little. Thing is, we don't have that black line. I think I'll just use my blood brush. Cheat it. Should look fine. We'll use a really dark red, like it's really old blood. I'm sure I've got a blood brush that'll work here. If I can find it. Blood. It has to be way darker than that. I didn't even see that. I just wanted to add some texture. You can't see it at all. I don't want to make it any brighter either. Oh, that's good. Do that. Just a little texture. Actually, I could do black too. Looks pretty good. It's not as complex as I was planning, but I think it gets the point across. Okay, so let's combine all that together. Okay, so it goes from this to that to that. To this. Okay, that's the death animation. I think that's good enough. That's it's okay. I mean, at least it wasn't boring. As far as like, it's a boring death animation. Okay. But we're not done with this creature yet. We've still got to do 2 more, or maybe 1 more. We'll see. I need to do an impact animation. And the idea is it's just going to be a bunch of dust that kicks up. So, just look at this real quick. When he does this animation, oh right, it's just going through the first take. Need to expand that a bit. Okay, let's walk cycle. So his first attack is this little headbutt, which is pretty short range. But his second one is this lift up. And then when it falls, starting here, we got to do a big dust like impact that shoots off in both directions. I think it's just going to be really simply a dust cloud that kind of like swirls off, and then I'll flip it and do it the other way. And that's kind of the attack as far as it hitting you. The idea with this attack is it sends you flying really hard, which is probably going to launch you out of the screen and make you start the fight over. So you have to jump over it or roll through it or something. Otherwise, you'll yeah, you're not going to be able to kill it because it's got so much health. The idea is you've just got to like attack it a lot and dodge every one, because even though it's not like a threat like it's going to kill you, it's a threat that it's going to knock you off the screen. You'll have to restart it. So that's kind of like, for being such a simple creature, that's what makes it more challenging, is getting it working. So I think I'm just going to do like a little dust cloud swirl thing. And I guess the cool part about that is the other reason I need an impact is this one. So when it falls down, I wanted to make a dust cloud as well. So I'll just put that dust cloud on both sides. So yeah, I just need like a little whirly cloud thing, and it should be fine. I've seen animations like this before. I've just never done one. I don't know. Effects always get in my head, even though they usually are pretty simple to do. I'm trying to do it in 6 frames. I think that's about right. I mean, like, all this is a cloud that whirls as it goes out. Let's just do it like this. So I think it would just start like that. And then it dissipates up, right? As the smoke kind of clears out. Yeah, look at that. That's the idea of it. Now I just gotta make it look like dust and not like crap. Ooh, okay, this is kind of an issue. I have no idea what the ground looks like in this area. because I haven't drawn it yet. I think it will look best. Actually, I don't need to know because I can palette swap now in game, so I can just match it later. All I need to do is I'll probably just draw it in like a yellow-ish color, like what you would think dust is. And I'll palette swap it to fit the background later. Maybe, I think what would make this better is if there's like some grass or something that gets thrown up as well, using like particles. I'm pretty sure all my particle stuff is, I've scheduled it to be after I do backgrounds for that reason, because a lot of the particle stuff I don't know until the backgrounds are done. Yeah. Dust is actually one of the particles I plan on making, so I think, yeah, it's fine. We'll just do a little dust poof, and then we'll figure out the rest of it later, as far as particles and whatnot. So, that's the position it's got to follow. I think I just use the G pen and fill it in, really. It's gonna like follow a line on the ground. Let's draw that real quick. This is the ground line. I can't draw this crescent shape. I gotta do it twice. I think that looks okay. It needs like some particles or something right now. I think so. My first thought when I was thinking of this animation was that scene from The Lion King where Simba flops down on the ground after it's after that one song. Which isn't very descriptive, but I can imagine it. It's what sends the dust to Rafiki. But I can't, I can think of that scene, but trying to pull out what that animation looked like, I can't imagine it. I think that'll be fine. I just gotta add like, I don't know, maybe some swirlies or something on the inside of it. I really should have made a copy of this folder before I did all that. I mean, if it's just gonna be a solid line, I should just be able to fill them in. And color them. Oh. Let's just fill them in. I can't change the color yet. Might look a little funny in that spot. So essentially, this is just the bottom layer. Okay. Right, so I just need like a color layer on top of it. I should clean this stuff up real quick. I think that looks pretty good. I might be able to actually recycle this animation for another one that I'm doing too. Okay, so right, to do dust. I guess like a orange yellow color. I don't know, my thought was this takes place in the savannah area. And I was thinking it was going to be more of a yellow color. I don't remember exactly. Like I can think of because it's not like one of the earlier areas. So I haven't thought about it as much as my two early areas. Or my two main ones. But I'm gonna look at my reference real quick, see if I remember what color I was gonna go with. I pulled out a whole bunch of reference pictures for each of my areas, just things to remind me of what I was thinking about. The savannah kind of area. I mean, I call it savannah, but it's just like I don't know, a large flat plain, which I was thinking it's gonna have like tall grass, just like this. Yeah, like this. I want it to be kind of like that. I want it to be sort of alien. Most of my locations are a little more alien. So I don't know, I like using colors that are a little unusual. I don't know, maybe yellow is just the best way to go with this. I mean, I can dot in some flowers and stuff to give it color. Oh, look, there's a nice corpse. Wow, how about that? Well, I forgot about that picture. That's funny. I've clearly thought about adding like carcasses in the background. That's why I grabbed this picture, right? And now we have a carcass in the background. Ooh, I got that picture in there twice. This one? I don't know. All these landscapes with castles in the background look the same. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna grab a color very similar to this picture with the wheat that I've got, and we'll just go with that. So I don't want like a hard yellow. I want kind of a dirty brown yellow, which isn't really a default color. Something bright though. Oh, it should be really bright because it's an effect. Effects always need to be a little brighter than anything else, just so it's obvious. I think. That's kind of what I've noticed. Whoa. What happened? There we go. Also, I think it palette swaps better if it's a bright color, because it's easier to darken, it's harder to brighten. So I can darken it in game if I feel the need, but I can't really brighten it in game. Yeah, okay, I'll add some like brown shading to that. A little bit darker, just to give it more look. But real quick, I gotta go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back. We are back. I think I just want to add a little. I don't know if I want to use a gradient. Gradients have never looked good in effects. I've never made an effect with a gradient look good, have I? I think maybe I put it in. Actually, I say that. I think. Oh no, these definitely have gradients in them. Oh yeah, they're nothing but gradients. Huh. Okay, we'll try it. We'll just do like a something simple. See how it looks. I don't like that. It's gonna be way darker than that. Oops, wrong button. We want to overdo it just a little bit. I think it looks better. All right. Honestly, these little particles should have it on there too. Because they should be darker than the bit, or yeah, the meaty part, right? Meaty part. I think that looks pretty good. If I want to be fancy, I would make like just another version or two of this, but fuck that. I think that's fine. And I can palette swap that, so it'll look okay. What is this? Oh yeah. Can get rid of that now. So Clip Studio, I don't think I've showed this on stream. If you ever want to combine a bunch of animation folders together, just get rid of your paper, get rid of your background. Only have the thing on screen that you want to be copied together. Right, like right now, it's two different folders of things that are mixed together. But yeah, just get rid of everything except for the stuff that you want. Go to the last frame. You're going to work in reverse order just to make it easier. And then right click and go to merge visible layers. So everything that's visible on screen gets turned into a layer, and it it copies it, so you don't have to worry about deleting stuff. So merge visible to new layer, and that's just going to make a visible version. And then you have to hide that one, because if you go to the next one, that one's still on screen. So you want to make sure that's not on screen anymore. And then merge visible, hide, move, merge visible, hide, move. It takes a while, especially if you're doing like 94 frames like I have up here. That's how I got this one all combined together from this, which was like 4 different files, right, with all the different pieces on it. So that's how I merge all my stuff together, make it look good, or to get it all on one single image. Okay, that's all 6 of them. Now we have them separate. So all I had to do, I'll delete this one. I'll go in here, delete all these with the right button, and then I'll just rename these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so that they fit in the timeline. I don't have to like assign them, because the timeline's already got these numbers assigned. That's just how Clip Studio makes them. So as long as they're the same numbers, they'll go in the timeline where they're supposed to be. There you go. And then you take all of them, put them in that folder, and now you've got them all combined together in a single neat package. So what I'll do, I've got this, I'll adjust the hue and the saturation in Game Maker Studio to match my background, and then later when I do particle system, I'll have like leaves or some crap for other stuff, and I'll just throw up a bunch of those particles and they'll kind of follow the direction, so it'll look a little nicer than just this. This is kind of plain, but this is just like the impact part, and this will be the part that actually can touch the player and throw them back. So this is the hitbox you have to dodge. I'll probably just make like a box, hitbox, like an actual box, so that it draws fast. And that'll be that. So that's really it. Let's rename this Dust Impact. Okay, I'm gonna have to, I haven't thought how I'm gonna do this. At some point I gotta start exporting a bunch of these effects. I think I'll just do like a big chunk of them and then throw them in Game Maker Studio and then do another chunk, because we got so many to draw. Let's save that. But that's it with the Behemoth, I believe. I don't remember what game this is from. Is this Chip and Dale? No. DuckTales, of course. DuckTales. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was looking at what we're doing. So that's the death animation and the dust impact done. We'll mark that as finished. Alright, next one we're going to be working on is, I haven't put them in here yet. So yeah, we're going to do another death animation of a large creature. This one I think will be a boring death though, because it has to be, because I'm going to have another character that can kill this thing as well. And he has to lean against the corpse, so the corpse just has to be laying there. So I think this one will be a very boring kind of death. Maybe I'll do something funky, we'll look. But real quick, I'm gonna hide the screen so I can transfer files, just in case. Alright. God, every time I do open one of these files, I always forget if it's the one that I needed or not. I don't think this is. Let's see. Must be this one then. I have to open it on my computer to make sure I'm transferring the right one. Yeah, this is it. Alright, file transfer. Move this over to... This used to be easier, but I don't know, something happened to my home group settings to where it's not letting me transfer files without like one password, and I have no idea what the password is. I've tried all my actual passwords, so I don't know what happened there, but it's definitely not a password that I assigned. Because I only have like, I don't know, 10 that I use. Okay. I think that's it for transferring it. Okay. Let's see if that worked. Creepatops. Okay, so this is the creature. It's another large one. No, not as large as the last one. The last one was the largest creature I have in the game right now. But this one, he's pretty big boy. Let me swap to that. Okay. So his animations, he's got like a couple idols. Some animations he does. And then one attack, which is just a really big slap. He's got super long arms. And I think that was it. That was, yeah, it starts over here. But I never did his death animation, so we're gonna do that now. So the point of this, actually, there's one more thing I need. Where's my NPCs? I'm gonna open that up too, 'cause that's important. One of the NPCs kills this monster and leans against it. So we got to make sure those line up, they match. It is a lizard male. It is Hunter 3. I'm gonna go grab the frame. That's the one. I'm gonna I'm gonna copy that. And I'm gonna bring it into this project. Oh my goodness, see, that's the size of it. I don't know, I might have rescaled him down a bit though. No, that might be it. It should be about like that. Yeah, no, I think that is right. It looks huge here. It's pretty big in game. Alright, I can close this one now. So right, this guy. So the idea, this monster is supposed to be really annoying. It's kind of like the Behemoth was. It has a lot of health. But the bad part of it is its one attack has a lot of range. This one. It's got a ton of range, and you know, because it's so big, you have to either dodge roll it or jump over it really well, or if you get hit, it will guarantee knock you off the screen. So you'll have to start the fight again. And really, the reason he's like that, it's not just to be annoying, but he's a gatekeeper. This monster is supposed to keep you from going through a dangerous zone too early in the game. But you can beat him if you want. It's just going to be a little more it's going to be a little challenging. But the idea is, if you unlock this NPC right here, this NPC will show up in this screen and it'll be killed for you. But it'll probably only do that like during certain times of the day, basically letting you not have to fight this creature to get past it. I'll probably, during the day or something, I'll have it to where it's basically like it's unlocked. You can still fight it if you go back like at night. It will still be there if you want to fight it. But, because I don't want to make it to where you can't ever fight it again if you unlock it. But yeah, that's kind of like the idea is. This NPC kind of acts as a key that unlocks that area, makes it easier to go into, so it's less frustrating. Otherwise, this monster would be really annoying. Okay. What I need some lines. I'm gonna look at all these real quick just to see what I have. That's line work. I think I did highlights on this guy. What is the vivid light for? I have no idea. It must have been for something. I think I'm just gonna take well, I definitely want like the first frame. So I'll grab the line work from it. Pull that out. What's this other stuff? Oh, I had 52 frames here. This is the sketch for it. Okay, I'm curious, what's past 37? Did I have more animations drawn and I just didn't use them? Well, I gotta see. Maybe I just made extra frames and never deleted them. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna make sure I haven't roughed something in already. It's possible. Oh yeah, there's a rough. So this is how I was animating before. It's kind of interesting to see. I think this is one of my... It might be an earlier animation, so it shows like the different technique that I was using then. I think what I had done is I had drawn the picture of this guy, and yeah, so I made this like red, if you see the like red cloud looking one, I did that first, and I just drew it over the head, and then I tracked where that head moves, where it wiggles, and then later I sketched around it to put the head where it kind of goes. I also did joints, like where the shoulder should be, where the elbow should be, where the hand should be. Sometimes I drew lines to help me just keep straight lines. Yeah, and then I just went over it afterwards and traced in the red outline the sketch there. But it does look like all these frames have absolutely nothing on them, so. Anyway, that's just a interesting look into that. What is this one? Oh, that must be an outline. Okay. Well, all that aside, we don't need any of that. We just need these two things. Actually, I say that. I need one from here too. I want the finished thing so I can use it as reference. Man, I did this one differently than yeah, this is definitely an older one, probably older than the Behemoth, because I can see stuff that I changed later. Okay, we've got a black outline, we've got the creature and the NPC. And I'm gonna drop them down here and we'll work with that. Okay, so now I just need to plan out. What the hell am I gonna do for a death animation? Whatever happens, he's gotta end in a position just kind of laying over so that this guy can be leaning against the body with his sword stuck in it, like he is. So I should do it the same way I did last time and just draw what the last frame is, and then we'll figure out how he gets there. I think that would be the best way to do it, but I need to think of something. Let's brainstorm. So the easy thing to do, of course, would be it just falls over. Okay, if I wanted to get fancier, a weird song. I've never heard of this game. The PlayStation game. Makaruna. Makindo. It's a Japanese game. Let's keep that. Right, so I was thinking I could have I don't know, the little sacs on the bottom of its neck burst, or I can have a hand come off. Don't want to do any beheading. I like interesting deaths. When I think of I mean, Castlevania is one of my Castlevania Symphony of the Night is one of my big inspirations, and a lot of the deaths in that game, actually, it's more of Rondo of Blood, but because a lot of those animations came from Rondo. But yeah, when you kill a monster, usually it's not just like a death. Sometimes it bursts into a flame, but I find most of the times it has some crazy death animation that's always really unique and cool. Like some demons like burn up and fade back into hell or some crazy stuff. Sadly, I don't have like the magical element, so I can't do anything too crazy like that unless it's with I don't know, some of the more magical creatures. But this one's supposed to be just an animal, so if it has a death, it's got to be something more natural. I can't do anything too insane. Pretty sure I did not write down an idea for this. No. Like I loved in Castlevania, one of my favorite ones is There's the blood zombie. Just this zombie that when you kill it, it folds over backwards and turns into a blood fountain. It's so cool. Just like, I don't know, it makes you feel awesome when you kill it and it starts screaming and spraying blood all over the place. It's satisfying. I'm thinking about some of the large monsters, what happens when you kill them. Like there's this big floating demon thing, it just falls down and like burns up and disappears. That one's, I can't do anything like that. You've got a lot of like armored enemies. They basically just fly apart piece by piece. I can't really do that. A little more natural stuff. I think some of the bosses. There's like the big bat boss. How do they die? They could like just burst into like a bunch of blood or something. There's big werewolves in the wolves in the beginning. They just turn into fire. I don't know. A lot of Castlevania enemies get away with bursting into flames. It's kind of cheat. But then I can cheat. All my insect enemies just burst into pieces, so I was able to cheat a little too. But I try and save that just for insect enemies. I don't want fleshy creatures to just vanish. I'm just going to think about it for a bit and picture some stuff in my head of how it might die that would look cool. The one that's most there is something like it doing some sort of scream. Basically, right when you kill it, it just makes like some crazy noise, and I'll have its tongue like wiggle and then it fall over. That might be okay, and if I make a fun sound effect with it, it's less about the animation, it's more about the weird sound effect that it makes. Which is another way of doing it, right? It doesn't always have to be about the animation. Like I think about going back to Castlevania, there's those lion guys, when you kill them, they make a sneeze sound, achoo, and they just fall apart. That one stands out to me as a really fun one, even though it's boring animation wise, but it's funny, like, I don't know, sound wise. And it's like, why do they sneeze before they die? I like the idea of it setting out like a loud foghorn type of noise or something, like a loud horn noise as it dies. I don't have any other monsters that die like that, I don't think. Like they make a death scream. I think we'll do that. The cool thing is, I can kind of reuse animation for that too. Because, let's take a look. I can use, right, starting here, I can use this animation, and instead of the inflation part, I just open its mouth and have its tongue stick out and make a noise, right? So I'm reusing some animations to cheat there, because I've already done it. So I'll just reuse these, and I'll start my animation from here, which is just it opening its mouth and then slumping down. I think that's how I'm going to do it, because that's the easiest way. So we'll use the beginning of that animation, start right here, it making the noise, and then we'll follow up with it slumping to the ground. Basically have the hand slide forward. I love these little fleshy sacks. It's such a weird thing. I like having weird monsters. The weird monsters are my favorites. I always like the bizarre ones. They're just, I don't know. I like weird things. This is one of my weird ones. Okay, so I had that idle animation, but really I need to clip the one we're going to be using. This one. So number 14, I would also like the line work from number 14. It gives me a really good frame to work with. Trying to think of the best way to do this, because a lot of this I'm gonna have to copy the shading too. I mean, I've got it all saved, so I'll just copy in the shading and edit it, I think. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of I don't know, finagling, because I need to have it all match what I did before, just like the last one. It's not that great of an idea to do it the way I've done it here. Try and do the animations after the fact, right? Instead of, if I'd have done these animations before. That being said, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do at the time too, so that was why I skipped it. Well, not entirely. I also didn't feel confident doing death animations back then. So that was one of the big things of why I skipped them. Because usually they're a little more complex than just to move a little bit, and I don't know. I mean, attack animations are pretty complex too, so if I can do that, I don't know why I skipped out on deaths. Okay, so I'm basically just gonna copy a bunch of stuff. I know how to do this now that I think about it. Okay, first I need to plan out how many animations is this gonna be, or how many frames. I want to start at 1. Okay, so it does it opens its mouth. Sorry, I slur a lot. It opens its mouth. That's 2 frames. One to partially open, the other to all the way open. And then I might have a tongue wiggle for a frame. And I think it would just repeat those 2 tongue wiggle frames a few times. So I don't have to draw like over and over again. I'll just do that in Game Maker. So I'm gonna do open, tongue wiggle. Okay, and then we're not even gonna close the mouth. We're just gonna slump down. And I think he needs to fall pretty quick, right? Not like a slow thing. It's kind of like just, yeah. So probably like one frame or 1 or 2 frames of slow motion, and then 2 frames getting it to the final spot, so that it basically it kind of like eases in, bang. All right, so there's like 2 frames, and then one where it's almost on the ground, another one where it hits the ground. I'm gonna say 5, so 8 frames should be able to get this done. That's what I use for the Behemoth. By the 8th frame, it should be dead on the ground. I think that's a good goal. Now, one thing I did not keep in mind, I need 1 more frame for the start, don't I? Okay, I have to cut that frame, but I am gonna do 1 frame. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna do it. Because I'm transitioning from something I've done before, I'm gonna add that frame in so that I can copy this like shading and the color and everything from that frame. But then I'll delete it later because it's an unnecessary frame that does not have to be in the game. It's just to help me get the other 8 after the fact. So I'm gonna do 1 more and I'll cut it out after I'm done with it. That's the plan. Okay, we got it figured out, kind of. Right. So all I had to do is cut these out and call them 1. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy all the 14 animation frame, or the 14th ones, and put them in the beginning of this one as a reference. That way I don't have to keep going back or anything like that. I don't think I use this vivid light thing for anything. I don't know why it's in here or what it does. There's nothing on this frame. I'm looking. Oh, well, that's 9. I want 14. Where's 14? Yes, there's nothing drawn on this frame. So I think I was trying to do highlights and then I abandoned that idea. This is probably the creature that I stopped trying to do highlights on, because highlights do not look good in animation, unless it's a sharp highlight. If it's like, yeah, if you're trying to like lighten up the same way you do shadows, it does not look good. So I think I abandoned highlights here. So I don't need to copy that at least. I just want these two. Oh, and this one. Okay. So I gotta cut all this crap out. This kind of work sucks on the tablet compared to... Oh no, I threw it in this folder. There we go. Okay, pull that out, hide it, close this, go for the next one. That's a shading, and this will be the color. Yeah, I made all these extra frames for doing the death animation, I think. I just never got around to it. I ended it at 37, but we're not going to use that. Because I want it to come in the middle of the animation and take a lot of moving around. Doesn't really matter. That's a color layer. So I'm gonna cut 1 from all these. This one's the outline, which is at the very top. Alright, so this is what it looks like if you don't use overlay or any of that crap. Okay, now we got the first frame. We got something to work with. Okay, all that done. I'm gonna go on top of, or on the bottom. I'm gonna put it right here. Clear that. Clear that. Okay, this one's sketch. Okay, and from here I can just sketch it out. What's happening. So, mouth going a bit open. For this, it would help if I had that line on the screen at all times or something. What's up, man? I don't have that outline at all. Whatever, we'll use this. Alright, and then this one, it's crap. Okay. Alright, tongue. And then we'll do just some tongue movement. The idea is it shifts between these two frames with the tongue wiggling. I'm gonna redraw the mouth. Alright. Mouth opens, tongue comes out, it wiggles for a little bit, and then the next animation is our beginning to slump. So I'm gonna drag these arms forward like to here. I'm just gonna put where they're at. The back legs, yeah, they're probably gonna slide back a bit too. Real subtle at first. The tail's gonna stay where it's at. The head's gonna come forward a bit. Right in here. Okay, and we're gonna slump forward a lot more. I think it'll be easier to just drag the head around and line up body pieces later. Just getting where the important bits go. That's gonna slide back a lot more. Probably gonna flip at this point. Like it'll be, the toes are facing up now. That was probably gonna push out a little. Like this thing's just going full flat. I seem to have given myself one extra frame somehow. Well, I might do an in between. Okay, so for this part, I think I'm just going to draw where it's supposed to be. And do that, I want to get the lengths of my lens figured out. Okay. So doing it that way, I can just drag some stuff around. Alright, shoulder. After this fall, should end up right about here. I'll slope it down a little. Doing it this way a little more time, but it helps me figure out, or it keeps my length of arm more correct. Definitely want this to be flat. So I made the tail go back, but it really doesn't go back. It just goes down. So it doesn't move much at all by the end. Yeah, I could throw an in between here. Just a little more gradual before the slump. Honestly, I got a lot of extra frames that were unnecessary. I'm gonna finish this one out. Yeah, just something like that. And then that way, this guy, where's he at? Right here. Going to stand here. Just like that. I think that's it. So all I really need to know now is this an appropriate amount of frames, or does that happen too quick? I mean, that might be fine, just it's really fast. We're getting a lot of repeat frames out of it. I don't really need more than that, I don't think. Like, we've got one low end, one in the middle, one on the bottom. That's it. That's all we need. Yeah, we don't need an 8 and 9. So this is actually just going to be a 6-frame animation by the end, after we cut one out. Okay, let's just go to 7. There we go. I think that's good enough for me to get everything where it's supposed to go. Okay, so I don't draw the tongue and I copy that. And we draw the tongue after. Let's get caught up to there. So real quick, do I have the correct line size for this? Because it's different now. I think that's a lot thicker. I've got some thick, but it doesn't go that thick. Let's go down to like 6. I think that's closer. Wow, this guy was really overachieving on this song. Okay, this is where things start sliding around. Okay, so what do I cut? What do I redraw? That's kind of the question. I don't know. Let's just slide the easy stuff around. Okay, I think it's best to erase the arms. I can basically just keep the body and move it. Though I might want to redraw the little sacks. I don't know. Because they would have some movement as well. I'll erase the bottom part. It's only for like a frame that they fall, a frame or two, so we'll just have them shrink a bit as it falls for the momentum. Yeah, I will redraw those. Now I'm gonna erase all of the arm. Okay, I can slide that part. I'll erase all this. Okay, I think I can use these pieces without having to redraw them. I'll redraw the mouth there, but I'm going to copy these over so I don't have to, so I can slide them around. And actually, it's only for one frame, because this last frame I'm going to end up drawing again anyway. I do want to copy the head though, so I might as well copy it and just erase. Okay, so it's just for these two frames. Delete these. It gives me a base to slide around. Take this, slide it back a bit, rotate it. So I'm just making little adjustments to bend things where needed, but trying to not draw everything, or draw as little as required. Really, I'm just going to slope this down until it fits where I put the red lines. And then draw the lines that I got rid of. Basically, fill in all the moving parts. So it's not so jank. I'm gonna go ahead and do these ones too. By making these little adjustments, it makes it look a lot less like I'm sliding things around, even though that's what I'm doing. So I'll get rid of like the thumb there, bend this thumb, kind of lay more in line. And then these feet will probably have to just be drawn over again, because at this point they flip over. So I'll just erase them from here. Clear, and I don't need these feet either. I'm gonna do the last frame now, so that I can go in between them both. These hands aren't necessary. I'm gonna redraw. This was really just for the head and the back shape, so I'm probably gonna redraw that too. So, well, let's just slide it there and see. We'll do it based off the head. Who knows? Maybe it just looks good, but probably not. It's pretty close. No, I think it's better to just redraw it, because it doesn't match up. Alright. So really everything but the head I can just get rid of. Roll all that again. I'm going to draw this frame. Get all those extra lines in here in a bit. It's just to help me with this little in between. never drew a line there for the belly. It just kind of transitions. Guess I could draw it now. No. What if you just have it go into this one with the line where it about should be? Then that never happened. I really like the Mega Man when it comes on. All the Mega Man music's so good. Or Mega Man X. Really stands out. Okay, now we're just gonna figure out all these extraneous lines. To do that, I'm gonna copy this at the bottom, make it blue. These are fine. They're done. But then when it falls, that's when it... Oh man, it gets messy. There's so many lines on the screen right now. It's hard to decipher. I think it might be better to just get rid of onion skinning. Hopefully it matches by the end. Oh yeah, I can get rid of the sketch too. That's more that can clean it up a bit. Okay, so from here I just need to add all these extra lines. Most of them are in. Okay, so we have one up here, one here. He's just got some like wrinkles. He's a bit wrinkly. I can add some dust and stuff to make it a little more interesting too, outside of this animation. It looks okay. I mean, for being extremely basic. This is the kind of thing that I usually try and avoid, just falling down like this. But this one I'm gonna try and do other things to make it interesting besides just the animation. Plus, I don't think I have too many animations where they do just slump over. I've avoided it pretty well, I think. Oh, I noticed something's missing. Nope, that one. The little lines are kind of like stripes, just easier. We do it like these little sacks are brushed up here. That's it for the line work. So all I gotta do, we're almost at 3 hours, so yeah, I'll end this pretty soon. Let's just quick make sure I got the same gray. Yep. Fill this in. I have to get that in a bit. Okay, so I think I'm in this here. I've basically showed all this stuff before. And that was the majority of this, so I'm gonna do the rest of it off stream, most likely. I like saying definitives when it comes to streaming, or I feel bad. But yeah, finish this guy's death. Next death should be a little more interesting and simple. It's just like a fly that's exploding into a bunch of pieces. That should be fun. We got just a lot of death animations. There's a couple more projectiles coming up. I might as well just show it. So yeah, over here, I drag it over here. I always forget that there's a camera in the bottom left corner of the screen. But anyway, we just did the Behemoth. Creepatops is gonna be finished soon, and then I'm gonna do this fly. He dies, and I have a good idea of how he dies. He's got an acid projectile, which I think I'll draw. I don't know, I could use that one that I did before, draw something there. Maggot has to die, and I kind of know how it's gonna die. I've got another large enemy that has to die, so another one similar to this. I have no idea how that one's gonna work. And then some projectiles. This will be fun. It'll be like a little tornado. I mean, I say fun, it's gonna suck drawing a tornado. But I'll give it a shot. More projectiles, some effects. A couple, yeah, effects and deaths. That's like all this is effects and deaths that I left out. So, just some unfinished animations for the next week or two, 3. And then after that, we get on to these new creature variants and stuff. That'll be fun. And some of these are new creatures. Like that's a variant. This is a new creature. This is a new creature. New creature. All this is new, actually. And then down here we get to more variant stuff. So they're just like palette swaps and whatnot of things I've already done. Some of it, like this dragonfly. I don't know. I might just be able to do palette swaps and I won't even bother with it, but we'll see. I think the poison, yeah, if it's going to be a poison dragonfly, it has to like glow somehow. For the swamp one, I think I'm just going to take my dragonfly that I've got and turn it green. So I probably don't even have to do that. Any of them that say poison will have to be redrawn to a little bit just so that I want them to glow in some way. So all the poison stuff has like a little bit of glowy bioluminescence on it. And some of these, hopefully, yeah, these should be a little more. I'm just going to have to take like an enemy I've already drawn and do it in a different way for the different areas. So it looks like a new version, but it's still all kind of the same, following the same animations and stuff. And that's basically what we're working on. I'm going to assume this will take, you know what, I like writing it down too. Let's make a guess. All of that, how long will that take? I'd like to do that in 2 months. But I think realistically it might be as many as 3. I don't know, some of that's pretty easy. But I mean, once I start doing more of this, like spending more hours on this, I'm getting more and more into it. Like my hand doesn't hurt today, so no sore hand. I feel like I could do this for a lot longer now. Eventually I should get up. I want to get up to doing like at least 10 hours a day again. And if I do that, let's give us the 2 months. I'm going to try and guess 2 months from now. So it's December. Let's say this will be done February. We're going to guess we'll have it done in February. It's fun to try and guess. I'm gonna say beginning of February too. That's 2 months. Beginning February. We'll see how right I am by the time we get there. I don't know. It might be done by... I might get through it here in December, honestly. Maybe I'm overshooting. Anyway, I'm gonna end this episode here though. Later.